YouTube, what's poppin', what's good, what's poppin'? It's your girl Truth, and we back up in this thing with another reaction video, man. For more videos like this, y'all already know what to do. Drop some comments, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe, right? So, Megan The Stallion, her trial started earlier this week, or whatever the case may be, and it's a whole lot of going on. So, I decided to give my intake on what's going on. Last year, I did my intake on it, and now that the trial has started, baby, I need some clarity on everything because there's so many different news outlets and T pages and everything that's talking. So I'm gonna go ahead and react to my boy Never Gave Up. He got some good footage about what went down in the courtroom or whatever on day 7. I know I'm a little late, but it's okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this. Without further ado, man, let's get it. Let's go.
All right, y'all, come on, because it's lunch and I'm not even about to eat, so I can tell y'all this. Okay.
Smacking the hell out that gum.
Come on. Because this was really a fool. See that double chin coming in? This was really a fool. My face is greasy. I don't know why I look so greasy, but you are beautiful. Thank you. All right. I've got some people from the courtroom with me so they can give you their opinions as well. Now, today, you're probably going to see a lot about they tried to kill Megan and throw her in the river. But I want to put some context around that. When I say this morning was a fool, it was a fool. A fool. So let's break it down so I can tell you why in the they saying that they was about to throw it in the river. They said, "Million man, is it not looking good?" We'll get into it. Who it don't look good for, it still looks good for Tory. I don't know why the y'all can't understand that if anybody deviates from what Megan claimed, that's the problem. What are we here to prove? That it's always been
that is the biggest issue. If Megan is the one who said such and such did this and such did that, that's what they're looking for the evidence to point to. And if it ain't pointing towards that, baby, you got a serious problem.
That he shot her. People get so emotional and want to get tired of it. Oop. What are the facts? The facts are Megan said he did this way. That is not what we're finding out. And that is at the core of the situation. So I'm going to need you to remain focused. And I'm going to need you to understand what's going on. This is a court of law. This is not...
What the hell?
Clue. This is not you watching ID channel. This is not forensic. We're in court and they have to prove things. So hold on to that. Now we come in day 7. It's 10:50 a.m. They had to replace a juror. There was talk about the juror who got to go to the doctor Wednesday and Thursday. So I'm guessing, not sure, that they went ahead and replaced them now so that this wouldn't even be a problem. So they bring in a white woman, okay? A stipulation is something in court that is a fact. So when somebody presents a stipulation, if the other party agrees, then you have to admit that as a fact, okay? Hold on. So, the stipulation brought up today was the fact that the 9mm weapon was unregistered, okay? And then the people have rested unless they can find, Justin or anybody else, and we move on to the defense. So George, who was Tory's lawyer, they called forward Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly is not American. Do I think that's important? I do, because I think that changes the way that he views us as people in this country and the way he's going to view situations and violence and everything, because it's different culturally. You cannot hear me? Y'all can hear me? Please hurry up, because I need to at least get a piece of chicken or something.
She hungry.
Okay, thank you. So, fix your phone, stop interrupting me. So, they said, you remember July 2020? And he said, yeah. They said, you live near Nichols Canyon Road, right? He said, yeah. And he said, what happened that day? He said, I was asleep, and at the back of my house, there's a driveway and a garage. He said, and it's often used by people because the reception right there is good. So, people usually come over there and use the phone, basically. He said, I get bothered a lot. He said, I heard shouting, so I opened the balcony windows to ask them to leave. That's what he said. Now, I can pull this up later for you guys because this address was listed in all the write-ups and all of that shit and show you where those windows are. But he had an amazing vantage point, is what I would say, based on the location of the windows. He said that his son, who sleeps on the same floor as him, was awoken as well. And they're on the same floor, basically. So they showed him a photo of his home and they said, what do you see? He said, I see my driveway, the car, the house, and I see my balcony. And he pointed to his bedroom, and then he pointed to the 2 windows facing the street and like where the sun was and all of that, what the son's room was. And he said, then in the balcony right there that I came out on. And so I noted that was a great view, in my opinion. They said, could you tell us if you saw a vehicle when you awoke him? And he said, yeah. And they said, could you indicate what a vehicle was? He said, yes. So they showed him a photo, and he literally draws a square that would represent the car. And the way that I can describe it to you is that the car was headed west, so going this way, and it was up on the curb. You know how you kind of pull up on the curb so you're not in the street? You got to remember these are narrow streets and stuff. So he described the car as being up on the curb pretty much. Okay. They said, when you heard the noises and the arguing, then what happened? He said, I looked through the windows and there were 2 girls. He said, I saw 2 girls arguing. And he said they were standing next to the car on the right side of the car. So this would be the passenger side of the car, and that the doors were open. If we pause right here, is that what Megan or Kelsey said happened? And nope. That is where your fucking problem lies. Megan said that boy, as soon as she got the call, said when she got the call, no sooner than she got the call, she heard gunshots. They both fucking lied. Because at the end of the day, this independent witness who is from the UK says that, listen, I looked, I heard arguing, I go, look out the window, can y'all leave? And I, kind of look a little bit more. And they fighting. So when did that happen? Miss Bump. I bumped a bitch. Okay? And so, when you heard the noise, then what happened? So I looked through the windows, and it was 2 girls. I saw them arguing, standing next to the car on the right side of the car. The doors were open. He said, I opened my doors, and I stepped onto the balcony, and they started fighting. So pulling hair.
Hitting each other. Quite violent.
Quite violent is what he said. He said, I only saw 2 girls, and then I saw a tall guy get out of the driver's side. Yeah, she said he was in all black, and he was black, okay? And he was a larger gentleman. So if we pause right there, pulling hair and hitting and shit. So all of this conversation about Tori whooping her ass and pulling on her neck, and that's why your chain broke, and that's why you got these scars, and that's why you got a patch in your head and your nails broke. They trying to put that on Tori. But this witness saw you and Megan fighting, okay?
See, this is the problem right here that a lot of people don't understand. Whether it's a trial that's going, whether it's an issue that is going to trial, or whether it's a common day issue altogether, okay? There's always somebody watching. Even when you think there's nobody watching, there's always somebody looking. Always somebody lurking. So, you lying, thinking that you protecting your image and protecting yourself, and now your case is going to trial, and it looked like your story is getting torn apart because they brought a witness that you probably didn't know anything about until it was too late after you done already put your story into perspective. But we're going to go ahead.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, y'all. Stop it. Move. Move. It's my fur baby, y'all. Sorry.
Megan is 5'10". And he said they'll find for a while. Malagograms@gmail.com if you want to do Zelle. So, he said my son came out, and I talked to my son. He said the next thing I saw was the driver intervene, and they were all fighting for a while. He said, I told my son, get in my bed. He said they kept fighting. He said they separated, and that Megan got into, he's describing Megan, so I'm going to say their names as per who I think he was talking about. He said she got into the passenger side of the car, and they were still fighting. They said she just kept kicking. Yeah, so I'm imagining her just kicking Kelsey. He said all I was seeing was her legs kicking her. And they said, for how long? He said, I don't know, several minutes. He said, I was still on the balcony. He said, and nothing was in my way. Like, I could see them. He said, I could see them from the top. I wasn't looking directly at them out of eye, but I could see them, basically. They said, did one female leave? He said, no. He said, I saw one girl go to the car, and then I saw what I thought was fireworks. But now I know that it
was a gunshot. Everybody want to say that Tori did it. Evidence speaks loud, boy.
A muzzle flash, so that's what he said.
He screamed.
He saw a muzzle flash. They said at the same time, he said Tori got out and was yelling. He said he got out and as they yelled, and then all 4 of them was right there. And he kept saying that this was happening so fast. So he said he got out of the passenger side of the car. This was the side he said Tori got out of. He said, then I saw flashes. I saw gunfire. He said that he had spoken to police about 3 times, and the first time was that day. He said it was a lot of cops that he spoke to, and he spoke to a sergeant, the DA, and the investigator, and then a prosecutor's investigator. They said, you saw the muzzle flash? He said, yes. And then they said, where? He said, I saw the muzzle flash closer to the girls. They said, is that the same lady that you saw fighting the one who the flash went off by? Yeah. They said, and she was just kicking. He said, I heard the gun go off, and they were still fighting. He said, eventually, the girl, and this is what they said, he said, the girl that got beat up crawled and went across the street. So for everybody that think that Kelsey got beat the fuck up, baby, that is not what the man from London said. He said that that girl, big ass, she got beat the fuck up. So they said, did you hear dance bitch? He said, no, he did not hear that. They said, you were interviewed about who had the gun. And you were asked, how many people had it? He said 2 people had the gun. That's what he said. He said, who had it initially? He said the girl. I only saw flashes from the girl, but they was all fighting.
Who was fighting with the other girl?
Okay. And then, and I'm going to put the camera on this young lady right here so she can tell y'all, when I get through, she can give y'all her perspective. After the flash, they said Tora was shouting, and everybody was fighting. They was just making a lot of noise. They said, did you see the gentleman run to her? And he said, no, he ain't run. He got out the car. And so, that he kind of walked over there. He wasn't running like that. So there was a couple of objections, and they felt like the defense was leading him. So he had to rephrase his questions. They said, did you say that the person who the muzzle flash went off by was the one with the gun? And they showed him his statement, and he said, yes, that's what I said. They said, who did you describe the shooter to be when you spoke with everybody? He said, one of the girls. They said, did you see the shorter guy do anything with the girl who was shot? And then, did you get an answer to the question? Because they moved on. Because it was a whole bunch. When I tell you the prosecution was like, objection.
They end up asking me, did you see the shorter guy try to take the gun away after the female?
Then I do have it right.
He said yes.
Perfect. So when they said, did you see him do anything with the girl who got shot? There was an objection. And so he rephrased the question. He said, didn't you say that the shorter guy tried to take the gun from the girl? He said, yes. They said, then the flashes came from him. Mm-hmm. So I want to remind you guys of how it sounded when they played those gunshots. It went like this. Pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. From day one, when we heard that shit, I said, you know what, that sounds like a struggle. Mm-hmm. And now it's starting to align with the fact that somebody fired that weapon and there was something, a pause, and it went off 2 more times. Okay? That is my speculation, obviously. They said, then the flashes came from him. He said they were all fighting, so I assumed that it was him who fired the gun. So they read the statement. And he said, sir, did you say that after the female did the shooting that the guy tried to take the gun? This man said, it's my turn to talk. Okay? And he said, Tom, let me tell you. He done got aggravated, Tom. And so they said, look, who started the shooting? He said, the girl. Plain as day, the girl. They said, did you realize that it wasn't a firearm? Is that what you have? Did you realize that it wasn't a firearm?
No, I know. He said I was thinking and hoped that they were playing with fireworks. Right.
And then did you realize that it was a firearm? He said, yes. He said, do you agree that you called 911? He said, yeah. He said, did you say that there was a gun in a 911 call? He said, I don't know. He said, after talking to everyone, did you say that Kelsey shot every time? And what that means is every time you spoke to anybody, were you telling them that Kelsey is the one who shot? Yes, was the answer to this question. Yes, that's what I said. He said, I saw her, and then everyone was fighting, and the men were breaking up the fight. He said the bigger guy violently separated them. Mm-hmm. They said, didn't you say that the short guy didn't get out until after the initial shots? He said, yeah. So did you see the shorter guy with the gun? He said, yeah, well, I didn't see a gun. He said, I did not see a gun. So they said after shots were fired, he got out and he was fighting both of the girls. That's what he said. They said, on the date of the incident, did you go downstairs when the police came? He said, yeah. He said, I spoke to the police about 15 to 20 minutes after the incident, and they kept asking him, were you being truthful? He said, yeah. He said, you said the 2 women were fighting and the man separated them, right? He said, yes. So they go to the bench to talk. They come back. They said, when you spoke to officers, you were being honest, right? He said, yeah. And he said, I saw the girls fighting, and I saw the girl with a gun. Let me stop right here and just say, he contradicted himself a lot. Because how did you see the girl with the gun if you didn't see a gun? You understand what I'm saying? So it was like, child, did you see a gun or did you not see a gun? But he is adamant about the fact that the girl was fighting and that the girl had the gun first and that Tori was in the car when the gun started going off. That's what he said. They said, did you talk to Detective Stogner? He said, yeah. They said, did you describe the incident? He said, yeah. They said, did you tell Stogner who was fighting? Objection. He said, I remember speaking to the DA, the sergeant, the officer, and they said, were you being honest when you spoke with them? He said, yeah. They said, who was initially in the fight? They say the girls, and then the driver got out first, and then Tori got out after the shots. And they said, and you told my guy that same thing, right? He said, yeah. They said, who was fighting? The girls. And then they said, who did you initially see with?
Like at this point, I don't even know.
With the gun. Who initially had the gun? You saw the girl with the gun, right? He said yes. They said, and then Tori got out after the initial gunshots were fired to break it up. He said yes. They said in the driveway, the three of them were beating the girl. Listen to this. They said when Megan crawled over to the adjacent driveway, he said the three of them, that would be Kelsey, Quan, and Tori. He is accusing them of beating Megan to the point where he thought that they would kill her. He said that Megan was in the fetal position and that the bigger guy said the police coming. He said they picked the girl up and I thought that they was going to throw her in the motherfucking water. He said if they would have thrown her in the water, it was 12 to 15 feet deep. And he said, I thought that that's what they was about to do. I thought that they would kill her, but then they put her in the car and drove off. That is why I made the comment about the way that we're viewed.
Yeah.
That is why. It sounds like to me they picked her up, and maybe you assume because it was niggas that they was finna throw the bitch overboard and try to kill her, but they went and put her in the car. So what made you think they would throw her in there? Did they walk over there and try to throw her in there, or did you just see them pick her up? Okay.
Assume.
So, they put in the car and drove off. He said he was awakened when they were arguing. So he did not, see them get out the car, but he saw Kelsey get out the car for this fight. He said Megan climbed back into the car and the passenger doors were open. He said the larger guy walked around to the front of the car. And then we go to cross-examination. They said the counselor asked you about the 911 call, and what did you say? He said that there was a violent attack and that they were beating girls. And they gave an objection. They came back and they brought the question again. He said they were beating the girls. Yes, that's what I said. Now get this. Don't let them leave this part out. He said, that is what I said on the phone call because that's what they were doing at the time. He said, at that time when I called 911, they were hitting her. They were beating the girl. They were all fussing. And they were all fussing and beating.
But what I don't understand is these celebrities, okay, spend all this daggone money for security. Okay, they spend all this top money for security. Security is with them almost 24/7, especially when they go into these big lavish parties, award shows, whatever. Okay, how is it that no security from either camp, whether it's Tori camp or Megan camp, y'all they allow something like this to transpire? Like, I get they pay y'all to do a lot of things. I get security gets paid to do a whole lot of things, and they probably know a whole lot more stuff that go on behind the scenes than a lot of people do. Between security and assistants, baby, they know a lot of stuff that go on, and I'm pretty sure they have to sign non-disclosures and all the other BS, okay? However, where's the common sense at? How did all of this transpire? Security be big as hell. Half of the time, they be picking up these little bitty females and moving them through the wayside. Tori, he all of but a lamb leprechaun, okay? So make it make sense. That's what I still don't understand about this whole situation. Where is security at? Where was the common sense? Where was the tacticalness with everything that was going on? That's what I want to know. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe y'all can fill me in on something. Drop it down in the comments. But that's just what has me at a loss right now.
Girl, he said, so, that's what happened. And they said, you testified about a short guy getting out of the back, right? Yes. When the small guy got out, they all fought. He said he got out and he was shouting a lot. They were all shouting. They said, didn't you tell us, quote, the chap in the car was firing the gun? He said, yes. He said, but they were all fighting. He said, I saw the short guy shoot all over everywhere, about 4 to 5 shots. And then they played the audio. Now, this is where my problem comes in at. You said that you didn't see a gun. And you said that Kelsey initially, fired the gun.
Mm-hmm.
There were only 5 shots fired. So what the hell have you heard? And what the hell
did you
going
see?
on? Would be my question.
And is everything you say incredible at this point? Because you keep contradicting yourself. He may be a legit witness as far to some of the details that he saw. But listening to this, he has, like she said, he has contradicted himself several times. Did you see the gun? Did you not see the gun? Did like you presume that they was gonna go toss in the river, but you really didn't know. So you're adding presumption to stuff. Like that's one thing about being a witness, baby. Make sure your stories add up, because they're gonna grill the hell out of you, just like they're gonna grill the hell out of the suspect and the victim. Make your stories add up. I get it's the heat of the moment. A lot of things happen, but if you know that they about to come take your statement, you know that you are a witness to whatever is transpiring. Just keep it a buck. If you don't know, you don't know. If you're not sure, you're not sure. But be 100 and stand on the facts that you do know. Stand on them facts that you do know.
So,
I really like that song, Wet Ass Pussy.
You like what? What song you like?
Wet Ass Pussy.
Who I look like to you?
Megan The Stallion.
You think I sing that song?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. God. Well, hey, I'm usually thinking about Frank Sinatra.
Okay, I know that's right, but that's okay. She's a beautiful girl. All right. Okay.
So
No, I don't sing that song. Yeah, walk, walk, walk. This some wet ass pussy. Yeah. No, that ain't me. I'm coming up with a mixtape though.
All right. Well, hey, I'll look for it then.
Mr. Elevator.
I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
No. People speak for people all the time. It's fine, sir. And I like Frank Sinatra too.
Yeah, I think I got something.
Okay.
You gotta get on that.
He ain't gonna stop talking.
Okay. I know that's fine. You have a good day. Mm-hmm.
He was not gonna stop talking.
When I tell you, you cannot make this shit up.
Not
Are you
making
kidding me?
shit up.
I didn't even catch what he said. All I heard was pussy.
He said, I like your song, nigga. I like your song, Wet Ass Pussy.
Okay.
Yo.
All right. Okay. So, woo. So, when the small guy got out of the car, they all fought. And he got out and he was shouting a lot, and they was all shouting. He said, didn't you say that the chap in the car was firing a gun? He said, yeah, but they was all fighting. And he said, I saw the short guy shooting all over the place with his hands up, just shooting all over the place, about 4 or 5 shots. Once again, let's be logical. Babe, only 5 shots were fired. So how the fuck was Torres still in the car when Kelsey started firing, but he shot 4 or 5 shots?
Thank you.
Logical. And this is why this witness, I just feel like, baby, you're not making sense to me. I mean, what the fuck happened? So, well, because the man doesn't have a point of reference, they had to describe him as the short guy. They had to describe Kelsey as one of the young ladies that was shorter, and then the other guy as the tall guy. Okay? That's what they had to do because he don't have no point of reference. And they didn't even want defense referencing him as my client. So they made that very clear. He said, I saw the short guy shoot all over everyone. So they played the audio of the gunshots. The gunshots went as followed. Pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. All right. I saw the short guy shoot. Okay, I already read that. They said, you saw the short guy, and this is what you heard after they played the audio? He said, yeah. He said, I told them that he shot multiple times and that she fell out the car and was bleeding and crawling and stumbling. They said, you thought that you saw a female shooting inside the car. Ain't that what you said? He said, yes. He said, but my son was with me and I was worried about my son. He was the one who ended up finding the last cartridge case. And he said, but I never saw a gun. So if you never saw a fucking gun,
why would you say?
How the fuck you?
And I know she's about to say it, but if you never saw the gun, then how can you sit up here and say you saw the short guy get out and shoot the gun? This is what I mean by stand on what you know. Stand on your facts. If you're not sure, don't give out information that you're not sure of. The hell?
You saw Torres shoot a gun 5 times. What the fuck are you?
Like, how does any of that make sense? How is that possible?
He was talking about, please, they start, let this man go home.
Thank you.
Botched. He said, didn't you say, I see what appears to be the girl shooting into the car. Yes. Quote, he was shooting and she was just kicking and she crawled across the street into a ball. They said, what did Torres say as he fired the gun? This man said it was a torrent of abuse. They were saying, motherfucker this, motherfucker that. He said, but it was all of them. He said, but Torres was going crazy and he was agitated. Here go, Ken Barbie. He was going crazy. Child, he said, yeah, he was going crazy. That fit his narrative. And then they were done and they wanted a redirect. Okay. Mr. Kelly, they said you spoke with my guy on January 5th, 2021, right? And you talked to the prosecution's people in September 2021, say yeah. And you agreed that you spoke to police and said that my client was in the car when shots were initially fired. He said yes. And when you saw that muzzle flash close to the Kelsey, my client was in the car. He said yes. I'm using my client loosely, just so y'all know, but referencing Tori. They said, didn't you say that when he got out the car that he tried to get the gun from the other girl? He said, yes, that's what I said. He said, when you first heard the gun and saw the muzzle flash, that was near the woman, correct? He said, yes. He said, you said you never saw a gun, right? He said, yeah, he had something, but I just saw him like waving his hands around. And he said it was just all this fighting and yelling, and the girls was fighting, and he just got out cussing. They said, who did you see fire the first shot? The witness said, the girl. Let them hoes tell you what the fuck they want to tell you. That's what that man said. He said he initially... What? It's 3 people sitting right here. They talking about that's not what was said. Use a motherfucking line.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't put it. Somebody that just got blocked. But
somebody just got blocked.
I'm going to tell you exactly what was said, but you knew that already. So if you feel like you identify more with them, go over there. Because I'm going to tell you what I saw and what I wrote down. And I want y'all to hear from other people as well, so y'all can get into what they heard. But if have I been wrong yet, you guys?
No.
Okay.
I got the same note.
Okay. So then they do a recross. They said, this prosecution now, was your interview recorded when we did it? He said, I don't know. They said, did he tell you the interview was recorded? He said, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. They said, would that be important to you? He said, yeah, I would want to know that I was, being recorded. They said, did you say that Tori was outside of the vehicle when the shit went down? He said, yeah. He said, did you say that all of them were out of the vehicle when the shots was fired? He said, yeah. So don't they contradict his last statement where he said that Tori was in the car?
Yep.
That's why I'm not fooling with this man. They said, when was the first time that you said it was a girl? He said, in the beginning. He said, on the 911 call, did you mention a girl? He said, no. They said, when you spoke to Officer Diaz, did you mention a girl? He said, no. But at the time, I didn't realize I was being recorded. What significance
does it make?
And for me, they were trying to establish that he didn't mention a girl until he met with the defense. So they're trying to paint a picture that you basically changed your story because you went over here to do this and talk to them. Now, they went to the bench and they said that we could go to lunch. And that is what happened, okay? So, yeah, I'm going to pass my phone and I'm going to let them tell you how they feel about this and what they saw, okay? Okay, that's what's happening.
All right. Okay. So, hey y'all, my name is Jasmine Jameson. I am also covering this case, and when I tell you this is what we are hearing is definitely contradicting, and it's a fact. I think before all this started, it's a fact that Megan and Kelsey got into a fist fight. Something that they both testifying on the stand saying they didn't get into no fist fight. And the fact that Megan was in the car kicking, they was pulling each other's hair, they was on all this shit. And I'm gonna be real, this shit done terrified this damn man and traumatized this man. He don't know how to feel about us, okay? So when I say this man is contradicting himself, he's going back and forth, he's not remembering certain shit, but remembering certain shit. He saw a gun, did see a gun. He did say that he thought and hoped that he was seeing fireworks, not a gun. When he saw he saw the sparks from the gun, he keeps saying, I thought that it was fireworks. And of course he said, I saw the girl shoot the gun first. It was not Tori that shot the gun first, according to him. It was the girl who shot the gun first because Tori was still sitting in the car. And after
And that
those,
makes me feel like I was just trying to protect my girl.
yeah, but what happened was the man said, I saw the girl shoot the gun first, and then the guy was still in the car, but the guy got out of the car, and then of course we can also hear on the audio that's when the more shots rang out. But he's saying now that I saw the guy shooting like 4 or 5 shots, and it was just going on. He was all crazy and just shooting all over the place. But that's not what he had previously said. So anywho, y'all, this is really a shit show at this moment, and we're gonna just keep y'all.
I wholeheartedly agree. This is a shit show, okay? And I'm gonna start from the very beginning of it being a shit show, okay? From the first time it broke news that quote unquote Tory allegedly shot Meg, then it went over to the gun residue on Kelsey, and then of course we have to wait a fucking year to even get to this point, probably actually a little bit longer than a year, to even get to this point, because, you know, we all know what's going on with the world, okay? And then, now we're here. Kelsey done received a whatchamacallit, I can't even think of it off the top of my head now. A doggone, y'all know what happened with Kelsey, okay? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but Kelsey pretty much getting off scot-free, and Tory sitting over here fighting for his life. Now, granted, yes, there are recordings that have gone around that saying, you know, Tory, he called and he was apologizing, but he never specifically stated what he was apologizing for. However, it was under presumption, everybody's assuming he's apologizing for shooting Meg or whatever the case may be. They always say when you assume, you make an ass out of you and yourself. Like, because what you don't know. You don't know. So this is all a shit show. Now you got this witness up here who some of the stuff he may be saying may be credible. Out of everything that he said, I may take maybe 15% of what he said as credibility. The rest of it you can chalk it up as a loss. Because he contradicted himself. He's all over the doggone place. So there's no way of telling which way this is going to go. I wholeheartedly hope Tory doesn't get in trouble for something that he wholeheartedly didn't do. At least I don't think he did it. I don't. And we can go back and forth about it in the comments, but I don't think he did it, okay? I don't. I don't understand why the DA would grant Kelsey immunity. There we go. It was going to come to me. Grant her immunity if she didn't do it to begin. If you didn't do it, what the hell do you need immunity for? Like that like, I'm sorry. Usually they cut people an immunity deal if they had something to do with whatever transpired. I could be wrong though. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all thinking.
Y'all updated. Y'all know Malaga doing the damn thing, keep y'all updated. And I'm gonna be real. She really keeping y'all updated on what the fuck is going on.
Trust the audio.
And so yeah, I'm gonna pass this phone. You want this?
Did you
You want? We got somebody else that's here too. That's
He gonna look like a girl on that film.
We gonna pass the phone and let y'all know what's really going on too. So.
My name is Marquisha. So I just wanted to say the most important thing about the case is that you have to stick to the facts. And so we're going by testimony.
Them facts play a major part. That's all court is. What the evidence says. What do the facts say? What 1 + 1 comes out to be 2?
So if Megan and Kelsey said that they lied about the fight, that directly goes against what this whole trial is about. So if Megan and Kelsey, if Megan and Kelsey was fighting, that gives Kelsey motive to have picked up the gun.
Exactly.
And that is the biggest thing here.
What EJ said yesterday, didn't he bitch yesterday that he saw something that looked like a gun, but just
yes, EJ did say yesterday that he's seen something that looks like a gun in Kelsey's bag. And I think this is important to note. It was inconclusive on the gun for DNA, but on the magazine, Tory was ruled out. So that means that gun could not have been Tory's because he wasn't loading it. And if Tory didn't have that gun or have knowledge of that gun, only the person who had knowledge of that gun could have picked that gun up. And I think that's the biggest part of this. Tory could never have reached for a gun that he did not know was there. And that's all I had to say about it. How can you reach for a gun that you don't know is there? The gun was found around what we confirmed to be Kelsey's stuff from EJ. So I think these are things that...
So once again, you gave her an immunity deal. For what reason? For what reason? You don't grant nobody an immunity deal if they are clear of everything. If they were just in the mix of stuff. You cut her an immunity deal for a legitimate reason. For a legitimate I'm sorry. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. 2 + 2 is not equal to 4. It don't make sense to me. Make it make sense because it's not making sense to me.
White media is not covering this.
Exactly.
Max. Oh, y'all go ahead. All I want to say is I don't believe the audio. The audio don't sound real. That's because if you have people shooting a gun and they out there cussing and yelling, you will hear them cussing and yelling too in the audio. You don't hear nothing but just gunshots going off. Mm-hmm. It ain't real.
Oh wow.
I think they made it up.
Okie dokie.
Damn, she came up with the big ass glasses.
So big. And see, this is what's going on. So y'all go get y'all news from wherever y'all want to, and they gonna tell y'all whatever they want to. But I done told you exactly what was said in the courtroom, like I've been doing. If I wanted to keep details, bitch, I wouldn't have told you shit that I felt like was damning to, particular sides. Which I'm telling you everything. If Megan got jumped by the other 3, why wouldn't you acknowledge that?
Neither one of them. Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody acknowledged it, but why wouldn't Megan say that? Why wouldn't you come say that? Okay, they said Megan Cunningham said something completely different. Child. And I think that the defense could have did a better job with him. But then, what do you do with somebody that's contradicting them themselves?
Not too much you can do with them.
Like, what? And could they have been restraining her? Like, I don't know. He contradicted himself.
Because first he was saying that Tory was helping, then he said they were all fighting, so dude, they helping.
And let me tell you why this is still a win. You can let Megan Cunningham for whoever else say what the fuck they want to say. Let me tell you why this is still a win. Because that ain't what Megan said happened. Mm-hmm. Nah, check that. That's not what Megan said happened. That's not what the fuck Kelsey said. And they said so the whole time it was Tory protecting a black woman. That's what it sounds like. A bitch pulled a gun and started firing that whole bitch. Let me just speculate. Bitch, you got me fucked. He said that they let them fight for a while. But when a gun got pulled and them shots went off, oh, bitch, what the fuck is you doing with the whoop? You're going to spring into action. You're going to stop that shit. You're going to try to separate them. Remember Kelsey said she got picked up like a rag doll? Yep. I believe that. Yeah. I believe that was the violent separation that man was talking about. I believe that he probably yanked the fuck out that hoe to pick her the fuck up. Hell no.
He ain't doing no shooting.
This story about the 3 of them beating on Megan, maybe the bitch is 5'11". Maybe they was trying to get her in the car. Does that make sense to y'all?
No, it don't.
Maybe he was trying to get the bitch in the car.
Megan called herself a stallion for a reason, baby. That Megan a big girl, okay? All right? She almost Amazonian, okay? Let's be clear, all right? Let's be clear about one thing. But she does stake a point. Water does stake a valid point. You gonna let your people, you look, two females duking it out or whatever, okay, cool. But the moment you see somebody getting something that's gonna turn stuff from bad to worse, all right, we gotta interject. We gotta interject real quick. That makes a whole logical sense. Whole lot of logical sense. But 3 people beating up Megan? Good luck, Chuck.
Big, if the bitch fighting back and they got a they said our mom said Tory was shooting a gun. That is what the man said, but that's not all he said. Exactly. So I just need everybody to go over everything that he said. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's all. Because what he said was a girl had the gun first. Tory was still in the car when that first shot got fired and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. That's what he said. And if y'all want to pull court transcripts and run it, bitch, we can do it. Because I'm writing down everything. And I ain't stopped being thorough today. If I wanted to keep shit close to the chest, bitch, I wouldn't have told you half of what that nigga said because some of it was fucking condemning to, you know what I'm saying? So, bitch, I'm telling you everything that happened just like it happened every other day. So, this is still a dub because At the end of the day, that's not what you said happened. You said that somebody shot you with the intent to shoot you. That's what you said happened. That's not what's being described. So court is about not what you know, but what you can prove. And what have they proven? That is the question I'll leave you with. And the answer is what this young lady just said. Nothing. There is too much reasonable fucking doubt for this to be something that stands.
Everyone thinks this is a case of public opinion, but
And it's
It's
not.
a court case.
It's not.
It doesn't matter what's being reported when the shade room.
It's not.
It's about
And
what
if the
being
first gunshots,
proved in court.
as he said, came from Kelsey, maybe her hand was still on the trigger while he was trying to get it away from her.
Because remember he said the guy got out the car and trying to, it basically intervene with Kelsey.
Right. Somebody said, damn, so Tori did shoot her? You're not listening.
He ain't heard nothing.
The man said that Tori was shooting all over everyone, but he also said that Kelsey shot first. How did Tori shoot 4 or 5 shots when it was only 5 shots fired if Kelsey shot first? And we heard pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. What I'm surmising is pop, pop, pop is Kelsey. Bitch, you got me fucked up. Pop, pop, pop. Bitch, what you doing? Pause. Try to get it real quick. And the gun go off 2 more times and it's him trying to get it.
Yep. Now, down there was like this. Remember, the defense came and said, what if he...
Right. What if he... And they did ask the expert, if he went over there and had tried to get it from her, could that be why there was gunshot residue?
Yes.
Yeah. So, babe, this wasn't no slam dunk for the damn prosecution.
Sure
I do think that the defense could have done a better job in their line of question, just to outline, certain things and just make it clear, because this witness was all over the place. The prosecution even said, I'm trying to get a foundation with you, and I'm trying, because you said this, but then you said this. So, y'all are going to leave with what you want to. I told you what it was, and that's just that, baby. So, talk to y'all later, tell y'all what happens after the second half. And that's it. They said, what the mixtape gonna be called? Bitch, never ever. Bitch, I ain't got no motherfucking mixtape, child. So, they said, I'm so lost. Was Tori shooting or was the girl shooting?
Kelsey was shooting.
Overtraining solution.
Kelsey was the one that was shooting, bruh. Like...
Shooting first.
He said Kelsey shot first.
And there was a struggle.
And then, yeah.
And Tori was trying to grab the gun.
That's what he said. So don't leave out the part you don't like and keep what you want. That man said a lot of different things. He contradicted himself.
Exactly.
That's what I'm telling you. What's that saying?
Sean Kelly. He says, witness Sean Kelly shares details of the night Megan The Stallion got shot. He says he believes a woman fired the shot first. Sean also reported yes to the defense attorney when asked, sir, did you see the shorter guy with a gun in his hand? He continued, then everyone started beating one girl. Somebody said, to me, it appeared that they were going to throw her in the river.
Okay.
Yep.
So ain't that what the fuck I said? So what's the...
That's what she said. Y'all want to pick and choose what y'all want to hear.
So any motherfucking way. They said, no matter what it sounds like, this isn't good for Tori because the witness saying that is all the DA needed. Bitch, you sound dumb because it's not solely what he said.
They must just came in on half.
You cannot keep what you want and throw away the rest. Bitch, this is not Thanksgiving leftovers. Nigga. What are you talking about? But I'm done talking to hoes that want to come in, bitch, at the last minute and hold on with them. If you feel like Tori guilty, don't say a bitch-ass thing when you walk up out of here. How about that?
Exactly.
And if you think that Megan innocent, go stream her album that y'all did not buy. Okay? See you later, you guys.
If Tori would have got caught lying as many times as Megan, he would have been damned to hell. Right?
Yeah, he would have.
But we gonna press on, baby. It is a movie, and this is ridiculous. This witness is contradictory, and I just feel like, baby, you're not even making sense. You're not even making sense.
But at least he was able to paint that picture for us on what really fucking happened, the fight.
And do y'all want to talk about a fight? Do y'all want to talk about who's fighting?
Nobody want to talk about the fight.
Why y'all don't want to talk about that?
Well, who got beat the fuck up?
So this is the shit that I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what's happened so far. And I will talk to you guys soon.
So we just gonna leave it right there. We just gonna put it right there. Because I do wholeheartedly agree with, what I've listened to at this point. Like, yo, the witness, he definitely did contradict himself from the beginning to the end, from what I'm hearing from this clip right here. And this whole court case is a shit show. Completely honest, it is a pure shit show. Like, we've been saying from the jump, Tori didn't do it. And now what's being proven in court is that as well. Tory didn't do it. Tory didn't do it. Tory didn't do it. But yeah, here we still are. You got Kelsey lying ass. Her stories ain't adding up. Megan's still been trying to paint the picture that she's the victim because she was the one that got shot or whatever. And her story ain't adding up. It's like the witness, he all over the place contradicting himself. At this point, I really feel like this case is not gonna go anywhere. Either is it gonna be a dub and Tory gonna walk out free and Megan gonna feel a whole lot of type of ways. Or this gonna be the longest court case in celebrity history. Like, well, one of the many longest celebrity court cases. But, I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I'm really eager to hear how y'all feel. Y'all got some more information, drop down, let me know. But it's your girl, Truth. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We out this piece.